If you want to get the full recipe, please go to our website at www.nfcpt.com.na or visit any of our fish consumption promotion shops across the country.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening and welcome to Today on One. I'm Isai Sipunga. In the news tonight, Namibia celebrates human rights and Namibia Women's Day. New U.S. Embassy building construction at an advanced stage. NCHE hands over certificates to institutions of higher learning. Retired cleaners' hard work and love for gardening pays off. And round up Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the weather. First up, speaking at the commemoration of International Human Rights Day and Namibia's Women's Day, Ambassador Marina Muonjo, the acting director of the International Women's Peace Center, said the best way to address any type of human rights violation, including sexual and gender-based violence in society and conflict situations, is to prevent it from happening in the first place, adding that it is crucial to address gender inequality as a root cause of this scourge.
Honorable Benedict Jager, the Deputy Minister of Gender Equality, Poverty Eradication and Social Welfare, at the occasion called for the need to strengthen national, regional and local measures aimed at increasing awareness, advocacy and share knowledge and information on GBV prevention and response in Namibia.
This year, Namibia aligned itself and adopted the United Nations International theme for the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, which is Orange the World, End Violence Against Women Now. As indicated during the launch of the 16 days, that the theme's color orange symbolizes a brighter future free of violence. It also serves as a symbol of solidarity in the fight against all forms of gender-based violence and violence against children. And it is the color of the International Day for the elimination of violence against women. We look forward to that bright future where Namibian women and children are free from all forms of discrimination and violence.
Speaking on behalf of civil society organizations, Women's Action for Development Executive Director Salatil Chinedima noted that it is disheartening to observe that despite the progressive legal framework in the country to protect the rights of every citizen, women and children continue to bear the brunt of terrible human rights violation.
As we commemorate yet another International Day of Human Rights and the Namibian Women's Rights Day of 2021. On this day, millions of people congregate to celebrate the achievements made in protecting and upholding human rights across the world. It is important to note that when the world leaders met in 1948 to approve Article 423 of the United Nations General Assembly and to declare the International Human Rights Day, their main objective was to safeguard the rights of every human being.
Proceedings took place at the Katima Mulilo Sports Complex with cultural groups, members of the public and local and regional councillors in attendance. The day is commemorated annually on the 10th of December.
We can't wait to get the whole gang together. But until then, let's stay safe.
This Christmas, shop at the furniture store that promises you the lowest prices and lowest installments every day. Guarantees you free delivery if you find a lower price on any item and brings you amazing deals like this 11.6-inch Packet Bell Monaco Flex Touchscreen Notebook, just 4499, save 500, and this 236-liter zero gas and electric deep freezer fridge, just 6999, save 500, only at OK Furniture.
Early this morning, woke up holding my head, hearing my heartbeat all night long. Shades of this motel keeping me in bed, reading the news, just trying to stay strong. I need to just get up and take a deep breath, keep it together, 'cause it's a beautiful day. Sun on my face, feeling okay. Don't let it get away. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Feeling so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day.
The U.S. Embassy held a topping-off ceremony at the construction site of its new offices to celebrate the construction reaching its highest point. The project is led by a construction firm, B.L. Hubbard, with over 750 workers employed at the site, majority of which are Namibians. Completion is anticipated in 2023, with an estimated $17 million to be invested in the local economy.
Located along Nelson Mandela Avenue in Windhoek on a 12.8-acre site, the new U.S. building will feature the Namibian landscape, colors and imagery of Namibia's natural landmarks such as the Kalahari Desert, sandstone formations of Damara Land and the Sossusvlei Dunes.
Hi, my name is Inge Diebenhofer. I am a civil engineer on site. We are actually ahead of schedule, which doesn't happen that often on construction projects. So what has basically happened is we have done all the structural concrete work. And how this is different from normal Namibian projects is normally in Namibia we do a lot of masonry work, masonry design. Yeah. This has nothing like that. This is all structural reinforced concrete, and then the shell of the building, and then the insides are drywall construction, like you would more see in the States than you would see here. So just from where we started, groundbreaking was last year in November, and within a year's time, we basically finished all the structural work on this. So it's this office building, it's the utility building, it's the support buildings, it's the entrance buildings. So that is actually pretty impressive. So from now on, it'll be more architectural. It'll be the fit out. It'll be the insides. And a major component will also be the stone cladding that is coming on all the buildings. So nothing that you see here is going to be left exposed. It's all getting a special stone cladding.
The embassy's charge d'affaires at the occasion remarked that the state-of-the-art building will be a platform from which the two countries fight COVID-19, HIV and AIDS and future pandemics that emerge, adding that the two countries will continue to grow both economies through new trade ties like they've done with beef, beer and charcoal.
Well done, team. This is really one of the best and most effective construction teams in the world right now. And it's an impressive team, not just because you made it to the topping off ceremony ahead of schedule. It's impressive because this project shows that a team of individuals from 21 countries can work together and excel. There has not been a lost time accident on the site in over 300 days, which is ahead of U.S. construction industry standards. Also, I recently learned that BL Harbour employs more women on this construction site than any other BL Harbour project in the world right now.
The Deputy Minister of International Relations and Cooperation commended the embassy on the accomplishment, adding that the two countries have over 31 years enjoyed excellent bilateral relations.
We remain grateful for the bilateral support from the United States in many areas, such as trade under the AGOA Preference Program, women and girl empowerment and promotion of our health sector through the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR, the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, the U.S. Peace Corps, and the substantial moral and material support with the COVID-19 pandemic. Program Director today symbolizes further growth in our bilateral relations as the construction of the new embassy entails a continued presence of the United States of America in the future of Namibia.
Officials of both Namibia and the U.S. carried out the long-held construction industry tradition and attached a dedication tree with flags of the 21 nationalities of workers employed at the site onto the highest point of the new embassy building, signifying the life of the building, unity and common humanity of the two nations.
The National Council of Higher Education hosted a ceremony in Windhoek where they awarded registration certificates and audit reports to a number of higher learning institutes.
The NCHE held the ceremony to mark the registration of private higher learning institutions that have entered the sector, as well as the handover of the first ever audit reports and accreditation of programs at established institutions.
It is a milestone in the life of the National Council of Higher Education. This ceremony further memorable in that for the first time National Council of Higher Education conducted program, accreditation and institutional audit exercises virtually due to the COVID pandemic.
The National Council of Higher Education, which falls under the Line Ministry, is responsible for ensuring equitable quality education. The Minister of Higher Education, Training and Innovation applauded the agency for the audit reports that were done virtually.
It is reassuring that Namibia continues to expand its higher education sphere and that existing institutions continue to develop new programs to adapt to a changing world. Indeed, to adapt to a changing world. Higher education institutions should continuously engage and actively strengthen research in emerging fields. As an example, the recently launched the Green Hydrogen Initiative requires skills, capacity, as well as continuous research. I implore higher education institutions to find ways of contributing to the Green Hydrogen Initiative through research and the development of relevant programs to support this initiative.
The Vice-Chancellor for the International University of Management noted that the audit report submitted for the IUM serves as a benchmark for a similar exercise in the future and indicate that it would help the institution with their strategic 5-year plan.
Your report, being the first for IUM, serves as a benchmark for similar exercises in future. And for us, the indicators generated are also useful for monitoring the implementation of our current 5-year strategic plan, 2020-2025. We have noted that the report highlights commendations in specific areas where your evaluators felt quite satisfied and also provides recommendations in areas of improvement. We consider this a balanced report. We shall relish your recommendations and and continue to sustain or even improve on them, while we look forward to renewed effort to focus on improved performance with regard to the recommendations made in your report.
It was a memorable event where Sunshine Private College received their NCHE registration certificate as a college, as well as Namibia University of Science and Technology received accreditation on a number of handed out to the IUM, Institution for Open Learning, and Montessori Teacher Training College.
Every Saturday at 7 p.m., you can stay true to Namibia Sounds with the Valentine's True Music Sessions. Only on 99 FM. Stay tuned. Stay true. There's no wrong way. Valentine's. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
Goes down smoothly. Tafel Lager, Namibian like you.
Nothing is too good for my daughter. Now here's the deal, Nambi. There's no playing around with other boys before your wedding. Do you understand me? It's the most important day of your life.
Nambi, baby, you have a face like a beautiful person. I got you this Virgin Mary necklace to protect your innocence.
Stupid man. We have loved each other since high school, and now you want to turn your back on me? All the plans we made, you just throw them away? And you want Nambi now? When I've always been there for you, Ziwa, do you understand? And she doesn't even love you. I've wasted my time on someone like you.
Don't be like that, Jalia.
Love, everybody needs it. Love.
After working for years as a cleaner, Siseho Namasiku was forced to retire early due to her health and decided to settle near the Lusese area in Katima Mulilo and continue her passion for gardening.
Time, love, and ambition were among the three ingredients Siseso Namasuku used to invest in her garden, which turned out to be a successful agriculture business in her village. Namasuku started to grow vegetables in 1984, but only to provide food for her family. She fell in love with gardening, but had to stop due to her working hours. In 2018, Namasuku could not proceed with a full-time job due to health issues and had to retire early. This gave her a chance to pay attention to her gardening.
My name is Iseho Ellen and I have a farm in Gongola village. I started with this garden way back in 1984 at the place where I used to work. I started a number of gardens, but the owner of the land and the community had a problem with me using up the space. I used to follow my husband to his workplace, and that is where I learned more about gardening. Because of my health condition, I had to retire as a domestic worker very early, but now I'm able to focus more on my garden. I started with cabbages, and during June and July, I usually have a garden full of vegetables, and now we produce crops such as maize as well. This side you will find oranges, mangoes, and bananas at the village.
Namasuku has since turned her gardening into a business, producing fresh fruits and vegetables, which she sells to the local market in her village.
We don't have a problem with our market. We transport our produce to the markets in the village and to the schools by ourselves. Our stock is bought so quickly, after 2 hours they will communicate to notify us that the tomatoes are finished and we have to deliver more.
Her husband, Martin Shaibolo, took us on a tour through her orchard. There are 140 fruit trees, which include, amongst others, mangoes, orange, and lemons.
Let's test this tree.
Thereafter, I extended with the first 3 which are in the garden. Later, I managed to plant the other ones. 2 years back now, we planted about 40 something on the other side, in the other side of the courtyard.
It's been a hard year, so we have worked to bring you the Christmas you deserve with the savings you need. Like Cool Peach Slices or halves for only $26.99 and Brooks Oro Squash for just $29.99. Merry Christmas from all of us at Spa.
Connect in style with O Smartphone, Namibia's most affordable 4G handset. Enjoy high-speed connectivity to music, videos, and social media. Experience life on the 4G fast lane when you swap your 2G or 3G SIM for a free 4G SIM. Get it all for only $4.99 Namibian dollars, and you can make the connection with MTC.
Dink jy sy het nog steeds abandonment issues?
Is moontlik.
Al ons moeite met die sprokies. Ek probeer so hard om my kind gelukkig te maak, maar ek kry dit nie reg nie.
Probeer net help, dis al.
Jy doen niks sonder bymotiewe nie.
So jy hou van die tattoo?
Nee. Maar jy kan nie liefde koop nie. En beslis nie myne nie.
Jy regular.
Am I that predictable?
Jy is 'n gereelde klant en ons net so 'n manier om koffie te drink.
How do you like your coffee?
Gewoonlik swart sonder suiker.
Does black and bitter only pertain to your coffee preference?
Ek hou maar net van my koffie sonder melk.
Hoe gaan ek 'n bal raak slaan na 2 glase wyn?
That was part of my plan.
Wat? Om 'n tipsy te maak sodat jy kan wen.
I'm terrible at pata.
In other leading stories, the Serbia Medical Laboratory South Africa made a donation to the tune of $30,000 Namibia to Petwa Foundation in Windhoek. Speaking on behalf of Dr. Twahafifwa Mnambua, founder of Petwa Foundation, Paulina Hambata, a fourth-year medical student and advisor to the foundation, expressed her gratitude by stating that the donation will make changeable strides within the health sector, adding that the foundation was formed to improve the lives in disadvantaged communities of Namibia through various health provisions in enhancing their socio-economic development through these valuable and much appreciated donations. Ms. Marisa Kutsia of Serbia cheerfully congratulated the Petwa Foundation for the values it stands for, emphasizing the prospects of future partnerships. Christmas is a lonely time for many senior citizens in our communities, but this festive season, Capricorn Group ensured that for 400 elderly people at the Namibia Christian Women Aid Society, a cheerful festive season would be on the cards. The Namibia Christian Women Aid Society in Commersdal is a non-profit, community-based project that reaches out to senior citizens in vulnerable communities. The celebration, titled the Golden Christmas Fest, took place on Friday, where Capricorn Group employees in their role as change makers spent time with pensioners, serving meals and drinks, playing exciting games, singing Christmas carols, spoiling them with manicures, hairdos and haircuts, and handing out goodie hampers.
This Christmas Christmas. Shop at the furniture store that promises you the lowest prices and lowest installments every day. Guarantees you free delivery if you find a lower price on any item. And brings you amazing deals like this 11.6-inch Packet Bell Monaco Flex Touchscreen Notebook. Just 4499. Save 500. And this 236-liter zero gas and electric deep freezer fridge. Just 6999. Save 500. Only at OK Furniture.
We can't wait to welcome new friends. But until then, let's stay safe.
Joseph Shifeni is up next with Business on One and the economic indicators.
Business on One is proudly brought to you by the Government Institutions Pension Fund.
Welcome to Business on One. I'm Joseph Shifeni. The National Planning Commission Director General at a recent conference expressed optimism that renewable energy projects, including those that are in the pipeline, have the potential to turn Namibia into an energy hub. Currently, Namibia imports up to 70% of its electricity from neighboring countries. The Namibian government plans to increase the share of renewable energies in its electricity generation from 30% to 70% by the year 2030 in efforts to grow and improve energy supply stability. This will reduce Namibia's dependency on electricity imports and minimize negative environment impacts from fossil fuel-based electricity supply. The National Planning Commission Director General Obed Kanjode said this can be achieved with stakeholder collaboration on projects that are currently under development.
And the very issue of green hydrogen and the effort and cooperation between the two countries may drive us to actually contribute as a dry country with the smallest footprint of carbon dioxide emission to how we as Namibians contribute towards de-risking the climate. And at the end of it all is we will be catapulted into an installed capacity beyond the operationalization of any of these pilot plants into supplies of installed capacities that we've never seen before. So the future offers all of us a chance to a cleaner and green climate. It offers Namibia the prospect of chartering new installed capacity territories, and hopefully we will break ourselves loose from dependencies of power supply from others.
Namibia's bulk power supplier Nampower said it is well on track in extending the country's electricity generation through renewable energy sources and in doing so supporting the government in its plans to attain self-sufficiency.
I would like to emphasize that Nampower is committed to support the Namibian government's objectives as set out in the national planning policies, and in particular the National Integrated Resource Plan, NIRP, and the 5th National Development Plan, NDP5. Furthermore, BEST projects will contribute towards achieving the National Energy Policy target of 80% of energy requirement from local sources by 2023, the Renewable Energy Policy target of 70% by 2030, and will assist in overall reduction in the cost of energy to the customer.
Nampower also says efforts to attain self-sufficiency are already attracting private sector investors in solar and wind power plants, as Namibia has extraordinarily good wind and solar resources. This could mean an additional 300 megawatt and 200 megawatt wind plants for the local grid in the near future.
Business on One was proudly brought to you by the Government Institutions Pension Fund.
And that is all we have for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on the business front.
More than ever before, football fans demand unique insight and analysis. The Football Review is much more than a highlights show. Bold, provocative editorial that goes beyond conventional reporting, setting the agenda for football discussion. Champions League, Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Liga 1, and much more. Want genuine insight with hard-hitting editorial? Need compelling premium football content? The Football Review. Best, bar none.
We know it's been a hard year, so we have worked to bring you the Christmas you deserve with the savings you need. Like all gold tomato sauce for only $25.99 and Coup baked beans and tomato sauce for just $11.49. Merry Christmas from all of us at Spar.
Hey kids, are you in primary school and want to get extra supplementary maths, English and science lessons? Then invite Learning In with One Africa TV's #LearnOn1 every weekday from 9 to 11 a.m. with repeats from 2 to 4 p.m. And thanks to NMH's My Zone, these lessons are 100% Namibian. There's so much to learn with #LearnOn1. Invite Learning In.
Time now for Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. Public transport tariffs have increased with 9.2%, but long-distance bus operators are unimpressed. They say as long as 7-seaters continue operating unregulated, the increase won't make a difference as they still struggle to get passengers. Sam says no one is refusing to get a transport permit, adding that it's the government that does not want to issue permits. Algie says it's the passenger's choice to choose the means of transport they want, whether it's a 7-seater or private transport. Hango says 7-seaters are faster. Corbin says 7-seater owners should not be blamed, adding that bus operators lack customer service. Sonny says it's a selfish industry that has no pity for the poor. While Huggins say they should accept change as no one is forced to make use of a 7-seater. And that's all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day, only on Today on One.
Every Saturday at 7 p.m., you can stay true to Namibia sounds with the Valentine's True Music Sessions. Only on 99 FM. Stay tuned. Stay true. There's no wrong way. Valentine's. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
The time to unite against COVID-19 is now. Daily statistics have turned into names. Names of people we know, our parents, siblings, grandparents, cousins, neighbors, and fellow countrymen. Help stop COVID-19 in Namibia by getting yourself vaccinated. Vaccines help your body learn how to fight the virus well before an infection. This greatly increases your chances of not falling seriously ill when infected with COVID-19. So, get vaccinated, help kick COVID-19 out of Namibia. Please note, Maximum protection from the vaccine is reached 2 to 3 weeks after full vaccination. Hence, the importance to get your second dose. Brought to you by the Nationhood and National Pride Program in partnership with the Ministry of Health and Social Services.
This year, SPAR is helping even more children start school with that new school shoes feeling. We have partnered with Barter to make brand new unisex school shoes available at SPAR stores across the country. Buy a pair of Barter school shoes for only $50 when you spend $500 or more and swipe your SPAR Rewards card. Because every child deserves that new shoes feeling. Only at SPAR.
Castro Lumbu is up next with the sports update.
Welcome to this evening's edition of Sports on One. I'm your host, Castro Ulumbu. The Namibia Football Association has been under scrutiny for years over unpaid remunerations to the national players, coaches, and technical staff. New complaints recently surfaced as some national players took to social media raising the same issue. Today on One Sports has more on this story.
When I came here, I found players and technical staff members owed money since 2017, and we paid. And that amounted to 3.8 million. We paid all that money. So what will be the difference? We will pay them. We'll pay all those teams. It's quite unfortunately, I can't tell you what the total sum of all those allowances are now, but definitely when the NFA has got the funds, we'll pay the dues because it's their money. They've played these games, they've honored the games, so we'll also honor their dues and pay them.
Part of the national football team players' contract is to be paid call-up and appearance fees. But this has not been the situation at the chaotic Namibia Football Association. In an interview with Sports on One, the Secretary General at the NFA, Franco Cosmo, confirmed that the players have not been paid. He also responded to the players' claims, stating that the current issues at the football house is the cause of the delay.
No, it's true. The NFA did not pay all its national teams, not only one particular national team, but all the national teams, because of all these happenings that are happening in the Namibia Football Association. We are on a restrictive funding from our donors. For instance, the donors want to see our financials. They also want to see that the squabbles that were in the NFA are resolved before they can fully give their funding again to the NFA. Because of that, we had to strike a balance. So striking a balance by means of should the team play or should the team not play? So we thought, okay, let the teams play. Let we go with that minimal funding and make them play and participate in these competitions. So it is the under-20 girls, the women senior national team, the Brave Warriors, those are the ones that participated. The under-20 boys, Okosafa was cancelled. So, but we thought it is important that we go and participate, and after participation and after everything has normalized again and we get funding, we'll definitely pay the players and the technical staff. For now, we don't have the funds, hence that's why the NFA did not pay the technical staff and the players of all the national teams.
According to Cosmo, the players had an agreement with the association before playing the games, further expressing disappointment towards the players for raising the issues on social media rather than engaging the association.
If you played, we talk about Brave Gladiators, they have played 5 games without being paid. So you played the first game, play the second game, play the third one. So they know about the situation. And all these teams, they've got team managers. These things were explained to them. And then they agreed to go and play in the meantime while funds are not available. So they are aware of this. I think it's just frustration. It's, who knows, holidays coming up and everyone wants money and all these things. But we understand the frustrations. It's only that the route that people are taking is not the right route. because these things are confidential things. They won't also be happy when we run to the media with their allowances and their payments. They won't be liking that. So we should respect each other. We should understand the circumstances that the NFA is finding itself. But the fact remains, if we owe you money, we'll pay you. So we should change the culture of running to the social media and say certain things. I understand their frustrations, but I think we'll educate them from going forward after they have been engaged and told how to conduct themselves. It's maybe also from our side as an institution, we need to start educating the people that are involved with the NFA how to conduct themselves.
The NFA did not provide a specific date on when the players can expect their payments, but has assured that they will get what is owed to them in due course. And that is all we have for you tonight. Join us again next week for Sports on One, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Thank you, Castro, for that update. Up next is the weather forecast.
A look at the weather forecast. The Namibia interior is sunny and hot to very hot in the southwest. Elsewhere, partly cloudy and warm to hot with isolated to scattered thunder showers over the northern half of the interior and the eastern sectors of the Hartap region. A fresh to strong southwesterly wind is expected over the southern half of the interior. The coast, partly cloudy and cool to warm with showers in the north. The wind moderate to fresh southwesterly. Now we look at minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond.
And that's all we have for you. You can join us again for a repeat at 9:30 this evening and the Omnibus Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. From me, Isai Sipunga, and the rest of the team. Till next time, good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future. A hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Hello, my name is Lara Solomskutsia, and this is my message to you. We all have a choice. Your choice does not only affect you, but mostly affect those around you. Please stay at home in order for you to help us save lives. This is not a rehearsal. Please stay at home.
I like rhinos. I like them very much. future here in this area is depending on the tourism. The future generation, they can see and they can benefit from their own resources. Animals like rhinos, elephants, the big five, you benefit from them and it must be respected. You are not feeding the rhinos, you are not giving them order, so it's a free business. I take two of my sons, which was little bit 5 years old. They were young guys, so they asked me questions. Why are we here? Why are we sleeping here? I told them this is our resources and this is our future. My first memory of going with my dad is that I learned new things. As I grow up as a man, I see an opportunity in it. So I decided to look for a job pertaining tourism. So that's when I was employed at Palamba. So I decided to go for tour guide studies, because I grew up with the tourism industry, the wildlife, the rhinos and everything, to bring that experience to the tourists. You can see the hyena. The biggest change is I was employed, getting paid, and also I can now support my family.
It's a cultural thing. It's coming a long way. Even if you go to area like Fontaine, area was a lot of paintings. You will see rhino engravings on the rocks. That is an indication that the interaction between human, especially the local communities and wildlife, is dating back. That intimacy relationship is coming for a long time.
We are right here now at Palamba, and Palamba is one of the big lodges in the heart of the desert. And as you can see, there is Jumbo standing behind me, which shows it's really a tourist area. We do have elephants, lions, but as you can see, the desert is the heart of the rhinos. This is the main breeding area of the rhinos, is what we found here in this desert.
It's the largest free-roaming population of black rhinos that you find outside national parks in the world. It's a population that communities in the northwest have taken responsibility themselves in managing this population with the structures that government has put in place, more specifically the establishment of conservancies.
These people, before independence, they took it upon themselves and decided that wildlife is our heritage, and through history we've been living with wildlife. And having wildlife in your area is like having a garden.
Because of all these animals, we've got the communities that benefit from all this wildlife. And it's like a triangle that fits into each other. And the communities looked after the wildlife doing their own thing, and the communities benefit.
So already there were this intergenerational relationship between mankind and wildlife, and that bond is what our people actually wanted to see continuing.
Very few countries have the wildlife that Namibia has. What is also important is the policies that Namibia has put in place, which also involves communities to be engaged in the management of the wildlife species and also to benefit from the wildlife resources.
Turn conservation into a rural economy, turn conservation into endless opportunities that would actually cater for those young people that have nothing else to do.
If it was not for rhino economy and tourism in this area, it was really difficult for young people to get or find a job.
We are conservation engineers. We make conservation work in an unfenced area, and through that, we want to turn the wildlife into the rural economy that will benefit the rural communities.
So we can see now wildlife is doing very well, the lodges are doing well, and the community is also benefiting. So it takes all three together.
Devastating hit over coronavirus fears. Airline industry is facing its biggest threat to travel since 9/11.
Since March, when COVID-19 hit Namibia, things actually become very difficult. In the first place, all the lodges closed down because of COVID-19. With us, Save the Rhino Trust, we had some donors cutting on their funding. And then we had, in the same time, a poaching case of 2 rhinos that was poaching. We had less boots on the ground, and poachers could actually see. Now it's our change to go in and do something. So COVID-19 was tough on all of us. Ginger Morning, who is one of our trustees, actually came up with the idea of, why don't we ask you to go to buy some gold for us and make gold bars? And then we sell them for the rhino conservation.
I was fortunate enough to have a chance to have lunch with Clive Johnson, the CEO of B2 Gold in Vancouver, Canada. And I looked at Clive and I said, we've got rhinos, you've got gold, let's do something. Let's create a coin or a medallion or a bar using your resource to create a sustainable source of funding for rhino conservation for the future.
There was it. The gold was bought, the bar was made, and I think it was 31st of January that we launched the bars in Windhoek. And suddenly one morning I had an email from my office, from my finance person, saying, these people don't have salaries. So I said, oh, what now? So I picked up my phone and I phoned Mark Daw. I said, Mark, I've got this problem. He said, but we've got a fund already ready for you. You just have to apply, put a proposal in.
1,000 ounces of gold can make an enormous difference to the livelihoods of the communities that live up there. We are, in essence, providing income and providing a livelihood to the communities. In the absence of tourism, especially now with COVID-19, even prior to that, when we had such a bad drought, the communities became even more dependent on the natural economy.
The idea is to make this a fund that will last for the next 25, 30 years, or even longer. And a portion of that will be distributed immediately as needed. And in this case, the COVID-19 crisis necessitated us to distribute funds to pay salaries to help people in the field.
The proceeds of the sales from the gold bars will be going towards responsible NGOs. And we've identified Save the Rhino Trust as the key NGO. And IRDNC, one of the first organizations that was in the Northwest, integrated rural development and nature conservation, so that ultimately the funds go to the communities and various aspects of their war on poaching.
To be able to support those hardworking men and women that are always in the front line between the poachers and the rhinos.
If it was not for B2 Gold and the golden bars, I think by now we should have been in big trouble.
By extracting the gold, you reinvest it in other renewable resources.
The gold that's coming out from the ground is actually protecting the wildlife that's working on the ground, which is a very good symbol for the others.
I wish this was my bar. This is the 500 gram gold bar. So you'll see on this side you've got the Etindeka Mountains and you've got the mother rhino with her calf. And then on the reverse side, we've got the serial number, you've got the Rand Refinery stamp, which is very important. Anywhere in the world, people will recognize the stamp and they will know that this bar contains 99.99% gold.
It is gorgeous.
We wanted to make a biggest contribution. And at Ballaward, we see that as a way of giving back to the community.
Okay, so there you'll see the 500 gram bar.
Very special.
Feel the weight. It's incredible.
This opportunity which presented itself is absolutely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
We're privileged to have this.
This is just absolutely gorgeous, and I think this showcase really what the project is all about.
It's from 24 karat Namibian gold.
I'm looking at these rhinos is put there like Miss World photogenic, I would say.
There are only 1,000 of these gold bars, rhino gold bars, in circulation.
As far as I'm aware, it's the largest single donation of any corporate to the conservation of biodiversity anywhere in Africa.
Therefore, we so much appreciate and would want to continue as a government to work with B2 Gold.
And the fact that it's happening here in Namibia is something that we can all be extremely proud about and very grateful to B2 Gold.
Thanks to having this literal pot of gold through the funding for the Rhino Gold Bar, we're able to step in now and make sure that those trackers are supported, and so are their families and their communities.
We make sure that people sustain their jobs going forward, and who doesn't want gold?
And the B2 Gold Rhino Gold Bar has come in at a really critical time now, particularly with tourism being closed off and those forms of revenue not coming in.
To say we have the biggest rhino population or black rhino population in the world, let it be for the rest of our lives. And it's that heritage that we have, it's our resource that we can all look after and protect.
It's our heritage. And it's also good that other people like B2 Gold are also seeing it that way.
It's actually a very nice link between the investor that buys this gold bar, the rhino tracker in the northwest of Namibia, and the black rhinos. It's an intergenerational thing. The rhino trackers teach their children how to track rhinos, their children get taught, and so it flows down.
This is something that I want my children to have, and that we leave a little bit of a B2 Gold legacy. And if I can be part of that as part of my family, I'd be very proud.
It can also become an inheritance for the generations of my own clan. My children, my grandchildren.
If we can bring that passion over to future generations and to hand that over to my children, and I hope that that same passion for conservation gets migrated over to my kids.
And what we've done together is create a sustainable source of funding that should outlive all of us.
You know, I think as far as B2 Gold is concerned, we couldn't have chosen a better target in which to put our efforts as far as the environmental and conservation pillar is concerned. And I want to stress there that the money that's going towards environment and conservation is actually going towards the people.
Rhino is for all of us, whether you are in Canada, whether you are in Vancouver, whether you are in the US. If you really want to see conservation at play with rural communities, I therefore humbly request each and everyone to join us on our Rhino tour and have a wonderful experience. This is what keeps rhinos on this planet.
I've done rhino trekking experience. It was just amazing walking in that landscape of the Kunene. And as we followed them, we could now find rhinos with the calf. We got the closest distance we could.
It's a warning sign.
And it was just amazing and lovely, something to experience that Namibia can offer.